Hello and welcome to the presentation of the App 2.0 challenge for Benfica. This project is done with the Value Creation Wheel in cooperation with SWOT, Lisboa e Benfica. This is our beautiful team and it consists of 5 Nova SBE Master of Science and Management students with Alex, Sarah, Sebastian, Pauline and Leon. To give you an overview of the project, we have an elevator pitch where we define the problem, the challenge, and the solution that we have at the end, and also the required resources: money, manpower, and minute. Here you can see that the stadium seats are sold out, but there are still so many no-shows and late arrivals to the stadium. Also, the app 1.0 is lacking of performance and doesn't enhance any of the revenue streams or fan engagement. Therefore, our chosen challenge is how to leverage the power of an event-driven app to increase fan engagement and by that revenue. Our solution includes 6 new features that should be implemented through the app to front all these challenges and increase the fan engagement both locally and internationally. To start, we worked on the first phase of the VCW, which is the define phase, where we analyzed the environment of Benfica and worked it through various different frameworks. Moreover, with the challenge, and analyzed underlying factors which are influencing the challenge, as well worked out as expected KPIs for the project, the team, and the app. Here you can see the tasks we fulfilled in the phase 1 and the KDM involvement. What we noticed is that we started out with a different challenge, but using the nature of the VCW framework, we re-evaluated the challenge after conducting the value creation funnel and MCDA. Benfica's mission is to integrate solutions that will advance sports and economic goals, and keeping the quality of service in mind. The vision is to be able to be the national leader with international ambitions using the information, knowledge, and technology in sports while keeping their 4 core values in mind: talent, innovation, governance, and capacity. The 5C framework looked at the company, the customers, the competitors, the collaborators, and the climate. Here we identified that Benfica's main customers are football fans that support their club both in the stadium and at home. The main competitors are other football clubs, sports news app, or websites that also give information on current sports news. After conducting a competitor analysis, Bayern Munich was identified as the main competitor regarding fan engagement and the engagement of their fan app. However, it is to notice that fans of Benfica are not most likely to use the Bayern Munich app, but we still use this framework to analyze benchmarks regarding an engagement and user engagement of a similar app type. A more in-depth analysis of competitors, especially regarding sports news, was conducted. Here where you can see that even though the 3 main competitors, such as FlashScore, OneFootball, and SofaScore, even though they have real-time updates on scores, statistics, and results for various types of sports and other clubs, the Benfica app offers a unique characteristic that are not available in these competitors' apps, such as ticketing, merchandising, as well as special features for members like discounts and virtual wallets. This gives the Benfica app a competitive edge over other sports news apps. After that, we did a pestle analysis. Using the pestle framework, We analyzed the political, economical, social, technological, and environmental and legal perspectives of the Benfica environment. Especially the social aspect highlights that football is a significant part of Portuguese culture, but has been seeing some changes in the past years. Especially the focus on diversity and inclusion should be highlighted, as well as the demographic changes, such as shifts in the age or gender with fans, which could impact the fan base and the revenue streams of football clubs. The legal aspect shows that specifically in the sports of football, the guidelines of FIFA, UEFA, and the Premier League have to be followed. A massive impact has the regulation that fans are not allowed to consume alcohol beverage in the stadium. This is seen by fans coming late to the game, which decreases spending at the food and beverage stands as well as the merchandising within the stadium. Moreover, this decreases the atmosphere in the stadium before the game. Therefore, we did a Portis 5 Forces analysis to try to get more about the threat of substitutes and the threat of new entrants, the bargaining powers of buyers, as well as the bargaining power of suppliers. You can see here that the most rivalry can be seen in the competitive rivalry, as well as the bargaining powers of buyers. The football industry is a highly competitive industry with a limited number of top teams and intense competition for those top talents, fans, and revenue. The fan base is not set to a location, but fans are spread internationally, and we have a high degree of loyalty and emotional attachment to the club. And the clubs have limited pricing power due to the highly competitive nature of this industry. Next, we move on to the microenvironment of the companies, and we use the SWOT analysis to analyze it, as well as the TOWS metrics. The main strength of Benfica is that they have a massive fan base with over 250,000 fan subscriptions and 14 million fans worldwide. However, their main weakness, specifically regarding the app, is that they have low engagement, with even though the app has been on the market for several years. After analyzing the SWOT analysis, the main strategies can be drawn in the TWS metrics, especially the SL strategy, where you can leverage the strength of the company. You can see that Benfica can draw on their massive fan base, which is also international, by hosting online events that drive traffic to the app and the online shop. In general, they should try to stay ahead of the competitive rivalry by constantly updating and improving, moving the app using the first mover advantage in Portuguese football to integrate the new app. Using the stakeholder map, we identified three main stakeholders that should include in our project. With that being said, we came up with the key DMs, the key decision makers, the customers, and of course the Benfica community. We kicked off our project with the key decision makers with an initial kickoff meeting. We clarified the challenge and its underlying causes for the further process. Moreover, we discussed future or expected KPIs for the project. Using the information from the initial kickoff meeting, where we were able to draw a cause and effect analysis, where we identified the main cause of the challenge of reduced fan engagement and little interaction on the Benfica app. The main cause is the behavior of the fans, as they prefer independent news, websites, and apps. Therefore, continuing the process, we ask 4 questions. The main question is whether this is really a challenge, which we answered as yes, since Benfica has been struggling to increase the fan engagement for the app for quite a while, were resulting in a loss of potential for both the engagement as well as the diversification of revenue streams. Without solving this challenge, Benfica would continue their reduced online fan engagement and might lose the first mover advantage to fully develop a platform-based solution for their fans. To analyze why the full potential of an engagement is not exhausted, we applied the 5 whys method, which resulted in finding a solution to increase diversity of the feature to target more fans. Moreover, more marketing efforts should be increased to enhance the app awareness. After the root cause of the challenge, we analyzed it has to be determined with Benfica has the money, minute, and manpower to actually work with the value creation wheel challenge to find a solution. In discussion with the KDMs, we determined that the club has all the funding necessary to solve the challenge, as well as a team dedicated to the development of the app 2.0. Moreover, with the team, they are also fulfill the requirements for the manpower. So, to conclude, all of the 3 M's have been fulfilled, and thereby we can continue the challenge. The main objective of the project is to leverage the power of an event-driven app, and by this increase fan engagement for our organization. But this specific challenge has been split into 4 main objectives. First of all, increasing the fan engagement. Second, boosting all the revenue. And third, ensuring the scalability of the solutions. And lastly, we need to be able to measure the success. To conclude the diagnostics, you can see here that final challenge as well as its underlying challenges. It's important to note that those underlying challenges are not being solved with the value creation wheel, but only the main challenge, which states the following question: how to leverage the power of an event-driven app to increase fan engagement and by that revenue. To further go in detail with the challenge, we identified the underlying app-related factors. Firstly, that we are undergoing a paradigm shift. The app was designed 5 years ago where the website was predominant, but now Benfica is seeking a shift towards the app. Moreover, it is to note that the current app is not performing good enough to enable real-time indications, and that the app should match and extend the energy and experience that you get when you go to the stadium. To measure the success of the project, we specified 3 different types of KPI. First of all, the team-related KPIs that ensure the team effectiveness during the work project. Here we identified 3 KPIs, which in the end we are all fulfilled successfully. Next, we came up with the project-related KPIs that show a measurement of Mrs. successful applications of the framework, as well as the delivery of a solid results, and here we fulfilled 4 out of 5 KPIs. Lastly, the app KPIs that have the objective to find a satisfactory solution for the integration of the options. As you can see, we successfully integrated KPIs 1 to 3, but by now we are not able to measure KPI 4 to 5. Maybe we'll be in a few months, but for now, the status is gray. As seen before, we involved 3 of the main stakeholders, being the KDMs in the phase 1 to 5, then the customers and the community. We will continue the project now with phase 2.
We will now continue with Phase 2, where we increase the scope of the project by generating ideas and filters, as well as purify the concepts. In this phase, we are using various types of methods and research to generate a mass amount of ideas and filters, leaving out any form of evaluation. Both primary and secondary data are being integrated too. In this phase, we are involving the KDMs by using the input from the previous phase, where ideas are being based on the specified challenge. Moreover, during the kickoff meeting, initial ideas were noted and integrated in Phase 2. First of all, we collected data using the primary research method in form of a survey that was conducted with both Benfica as well as external football fans. It was distributed through Nova channels, friends and family, as well as Benfica fan platforms. The key takeaways of this primary research was that most fans are not aware that their club has a fan app. Moreover, they get their news from external sources, so from news apps or news websites. Also, even if they are aware of a fan app from their club, they are most likely not using it. To supplement the primary data, we conducted research using secondary data on Benfica and general information regarding fan engagement. Benfica is the best supported team in Portugal and one of the best supported teams worldwide. It has a very strong presence on social media, with 3.8 million followers on Facebook and 1.7 million followers on Twitter, as well as 2.3 million followers on Instagram. They are the most supported club in Portugal and the second most supported club worldwide, with 230,000 paid memberships, which is only a little bit after Bayern Munich. Since their release of the app 5 years ago, it has around 450 reviews on the iOS App Store, however only a 2.7 star rating, indicating a low satisfaction and interaction with the app from the fans. General information regarding fan engagement indicate that social media has become one of the most crucial platforms of football clubs to engage with fans. Moreover, loyalty programs show great success in binding their fans to the club. These programs often offer discounts on merchandise or priority access to tickets. Furthermore, personalized content makes fans feel appreciated by their club. So sending personalized messages to fans on their birthdays or create personalized videos for fans might improve the loyalty of the fan base. Lastly, engaging with the local community by organizing charity events or volunteering by promoting local businesses might improve the fan engagement even more. After conducting primary and secondary research, more methods of idea generation were applied. Specifically, the 635 brainwriting method, as well as brainstorming, team sessions, and the feedback from KDMs. These, in the end, generated 54 ideas divided into two categories, that was at home and at stadium fans. Example of the 635 method that we conducted using the online tool Figma. It was our initial internal ideation workshop. 5 minutes per round, at 5 rounds each, we generated different ideas. In the end, we produced 90 initial ideas. However, many of them were duplicates of each other, so we reduced them to the final number of 54. In the end, we generated our final amount of ideas and categorized them in two different categories: fans at home and fans at the stadium. On this slide, you can see the total amount of ideas for our first category, fans at home. Here we generated around 30 ideas, and you have them listed on this slide. Next, you can see the 24 further ideas that are targeted for the fans that go to the stadium. We have those 24 ideas listed here, going from instant game highlights to send-in pictures on the screen. Continuing on, we used similar methods to generate our filters for the next couple of phases. We generated a total amount of 51 filters, which we categorized into 5 subcategories, into user, social, financial, market, and technological filters. These will be applied in the further process of the VCW. After we have generated our final amount of ideas and filters, we continued on with the first decision-making process, the poker method. Here, in collaboration with the KDMs, each idea and filter was discussed individually and sorted into one of the 4 categories: kill, review, multiply, or keep. Some ideas were clearly sorted into kill or keep, some were revised or multiplied as the category suggests. In the end, all filters and ideas were sorted into either kill or keep to continue on with the next phases. After our in-person meeting with the KDMs, this was our final result of ideas to kill or to either keep, and to review or multiply. We have 4 of these ideas in each category, and after reviewing or multiplying these specific ideas, they were also sorted into keep to continue on with the next phase. To finish up phase 2, the increase phase, here you can see the filters that were immediately sorted into either kill or keep. None of these filters were sorted into multiply or review, since the evaluation of the KDMs in our in-person meeting were clear which filters were useful for the next phases and which weren't feasible for us. So this concludes the second phase, increase, and we will now continue on with phase 3, the assess phase.
Thank you very much for phase 2 description. That is a crucial aspect of the VCW framework. So now we are able to continue towards phase 3, which is the assess part of the framework. So in phase 3, the task is that after filtering the ideas and filters with the poker method in phase 2, we were able to gather all the selected filters and ideas. We were then able to attribute each filter and idea in different groups. Finally, we ranked the must-have filters and attributed a weight to each category of nice-to-have filters. During an online meeting with the KDMs, we went through the ranking and weights attribution and adjusted it, taking into consideration their insights and preferences. So the first part of phase 3 is phase 3A, which is the selected ideas. We divided the ideas into 2 groups, with the first group being fans at stadium, which aims to enhance the experience of the fans coming to the stadium to watch the game, both before, during, and after the games. And the second group is fan at home, which aims to transpose the stadium atmosphere to the fans' living room and making them remember or imagine the actual atmosphere at the stadium. So, in the fans at stadium group, we have drink, food order, AR feature, vote, pay to listen to specific music, fan chat rooms, user contests with process, official live polls, reward system for fans, fan statistics, augmented reality during the game, user review and rating, chat with players, stadium navigation, send in pictures on screen, cabin insights, and fans token loyalty program. In the fans at home, we have quizzes, AI and AR features, fantasy football, Panini cards, mini games, visual fan events, player ratings, live streams of games, calendar, NFTs, integrated betting, prediction with rewards, matchday soundboard, advanced live statistics, historical archives, global fan map, esport integration, augmented reality filters, charity donation options, polls, virtual meet and greets, and finally virtual stadium tours. So after setting and defining these 2 groups, we are then able to continue towards the next section of phase 3. Hence, in the next part is phase 3B, which is the selected filters. We divided the filters into 5 different categories, where user category sets that the idea should enhance the user experience on the app and be adopted by majority. Technological sets that the idea should fit the technological performance and innovation of the app 2.0. For the market, the idea should enhance differentiation and provide an important geographic reach. For the financial, the idea should provide opportunities for revenue diversification, revenue potential, and monetization. Finally, for the social category, the idea should ensure community's respect and add interaction opportunities. So, after clearly defining these categories for the filters, we are able to move to the next part of the phase. Hence, the next part is phase 3, which is crucial because we ranked must-have filters and weighted optional filters. The category that ranked first was the technical feasibility, which sets that it is crucial that the idea is technically feasible for the club in terms of technology and innovation. The second category is regulation compliance and right, which said that it is important that the ideas respect the Portuguese and international laws to ensure that the club does not face lawsuits and reputational harm, as well as regulations and ethical standards in its operations. Then the third category of filters is financial viability, which said that the realization of the idea needs to be reasonable in terms of investment because the club has already made massive investment that should enable most of the ideas to be realized. Then category number 4 is that to a certain extent, the outcome of the idea realization needs to be measurable to understand its impact. Moreover, the fifth category is performance and sets that the idea should fit the performance of the app 2.0, which will be able to support most of technologies except really advanced ones such as VR. Category number 6 sets that the idea should be aligned with the club vision and values without altering the club relationship with its fans. And finally, category number 7 sets that community building potential, which is that the idea should enable the club to build an even stronger family and community through global interactions. After ranking the must-have filters, we will continue towards the weighting of the nice-to-have filters that we will use for the MCDA framework. So for the last part of phase 3C, we have the nice-to-have filters that we weighted into each category that I described beforehand. And so together with the KDMs, we gave the weight of 30% to user, 25% to the financial, 20% to the technological, 15% to the market, and finally 10% to the social category. This ranking and weighting of filters is really important for our next phase because we will use them to filter the ideas that will pass the next steps and be implemented as our main solution. I can now pass towards the phase 4 of the VCW framework.
So, having completed the assessment of ideas in the last phase, let's move on with narrowing them down. Therefore, in this phase, we will focus on creating concepts and prototypes of our identified ideas with deep value for our KDMs. We started doing that by validating our initial 38 ideas with the value creation funnel. The funnel relied on the, in phase 3C, ranked and weighted must-have filters, which were tested then against our ideas. You could definitely see that the funnel was working, since less than 50% of the ideas managed to go through. The result of that were 17 ideas, 7 for fans at home, and 10 for fans at the stadium. Although having a first result, we even then wanted to extend our testing by checking our initial ideas against the multi-criteria decision analysis. Here, we added optional weighted filters to see the bigger picture. Using this method, we were able to quantify the fit for our ideas by giving them a total score. With this score, we could then choose the best ones. The final decision, which ideas to choose, happened then in combining results from the VCF and MCDA. Doing that, we chose the highest rated ideas from each category. Quizzes, the global fan map, and advanced live statistics were chosen in the category of fans at home. And drink and food ordering in the app, fan tokens, and send in pictures on screen were chosen in the category of fans at the stadium. But how do these features blend in with the app itself? For that, we first wanted to have a look at the users, the fans. The Benfica 2.0 app is for everyone. Everyone, everywhere. So when looking at demographics or also geographical attributes of fans, we aim to address everyone, regardless of age, gender, or location where they are at. The only exceptions are fans who are live in the stadium on match day. They are treated a bit differently. When looking at socio-professional and behavioral factors, we focus on targeting of our features in alignment with the club's objectives to increase fan engagement and therefore revenue on fans who are not paid members yet. So who are on the one hand side maybe too busy or can't afford to go to the stadium, or on the other hand fans who can and come regularly. How these fans could be characterized can now be screened on the next page. Joanna, a die-hard Benfica fan, visits each game at Estadio da Luz and loves to soak up the atmosphere. For her, the in-stadium features are perfect. She can prove the passion for the club via polls and quizzes and at the same time earn rewards, since each match attendance adds up in her personal loyalty fan account. On the other hand, there's Pedro. Pedro, although being a loyal supporter, doesn't have the time to come to each match. For him, the fan at home features like advanced live statistics are perfect to stay on track. Nevertheless, sometimes he manages to do and to come and enjoy the convenience of now being able to order food from his seat without missing any second of the match. The app is for both of them, for Joanna and Pedro. For them, we conceptualized the app based on the following positional statement. Experience the glory of Benfica anywhere you go. Your ultimate companion for the stadium and beyond. Packed with an homage to Benfica's nickname and directly addressed to fans around the globe. To address and target the fans properly, we need to market the app in the right way, which can be seen in the next slide. Using the 7-piece marketing mix, we analyzed the product, process, price, people, place, physical evidence, and promotion for the Benfica app 2.0. It is important to note that even though the product is currently not monetized, it shows great potential of this in the future, increasing the diversification of revenue streams even further. Our features for the end product are specifically targeted to increase engagement for fans at home and fans at the stadium, to ensure the diversification of customers, and is made for daily or occasional use. More in-depth analysis of place and promotion will follow on the next slide. Since we identified at the start that a root cause for the limited interaction might be the reduced marketing efforts for the app, we advise to follow an integrated marketing communication strategy using personalized databases collected through social media, search engines, and member-based data. This includes the mix of non-personalized mass advertisement through social media, live ads in the stadium, QR codes in the stadium, and utilizing the Benfica app. Moreover, personal ads will supplement this to individually target the fans, highlighting the features that may seem most fitting for them. Moreover, sales promotions can be utilized, especially during the launch of the new app, giving the fans incentives to engage with the app. Lastly, Benfica can leverage its massive member base to distribute direct marketing messages through the emails of their members. As for place of distribution, the app will be available on all app stores worldwide, building on the intense global fandom. Moreover, it should be available in Portuguese and English to include a large amount of members. This will increase the app download as well as the fan engagement with Benfica's fans globally. Also integrate international fans and especially the houses of Benfica. Looking at the Benfica app 2.0 in the competitive landscape, we see that the app has a much more personalized and immersive experience for each and every fan. We offer a way more holistic approach through key elements like live scores, but also ticketing and merchandising and personalized content, as well as a huge fan community of over 14 million Benfica fans which create an app where there's no real need for other apps in a life of a Benfica football fan. And now, finally, we are able to present you the actual prototypes of features we invented. The first one is the food and beverage ordering directly in the app. I think every fan knows the struggle. It's 35 degrees in the stadium, you are thirsty, and leave your seat to get something to drink. You get into the queue and wait. The minute you are gone, a goal happens. What a shame. With our newest feature, this doesn't happen anymore. Get in the app, order whatever you want from your seat, pay online, get a code, and grab your order as soon as it's ready for you, without waiting in long queues. A feature so good that we expect to highly increase fan adoption for the app from beginning on and calculate an increase in food and beverage revenue by 5 up to 25%. The next feature tackles a problem which not the fans experience, but the club. No-shows and fans coming late have become an annoying problem for the club, which have to be solved not by punishments, but rather by nudging the fans through little rewards maybe. For that, we have implemented a fan token system. Via the geolocation in the app recognizes if and when fans come to the stadium. For coming, and in the best case coming early, fans get tokens. Adding up these tokens result in climbing up the status ladder from a bronze fan up to a platinum fan. And as a sign of appreciation, fans in a certain status will get incentivized with rewards. These rewards can be discounts, but also invites to exclusive meet and greet events with players. So it's worth it. The next feature we want to present you is the global fan map. In a world where everything is drifting apart, football unites people around the globe. We want to boost this process of connecting by introducing the global fan map. 14 million Benfica fans live around the globe, and with the newest feature, they get the chance to identify and connect with each other. No matter if it's a house of fans or an individual fan. Build relationships, friendships, or just organize public viewings. The next core feature are the advanced live statistics. Benfica is a data-driven company, and so do they have enormous amount of data, not only on business functions, but also on games and players. We want to use this data to create statistical overviews like no other football app has. By having this competitive advantage in comparison to OneFootball, SofaScore, or whatever, we expect to grow app engagement by up to 25%. Fans want to dig deep, and the Benfica app is the perfect place for that. I think everyone loves to get challenged, so everyone loves minigames. So the logic next feature is a fantasy quiz. During halftime show, for example, fans can answer trivia questions, compete with friends and the entire Benfica community to see who is a real fan. Since younger fan generations become harder and harder to retain, additional gamification of the club is predicted to be an additional driver of engagement, especially in these age groups. At best, we calculate with up to 25% of additional engagement. Last but not least, we get to our new send-in picture feature. A visit in Estádio da Luz is a memorable experience. That memorable that you want to save it for the rest of your life with a picture. Take a picture, upload it in the app, and get shown on the big, huge screen in the stadium. What an experience.
So on phase 5, the last phase, we will conclude the VCW model by discussing the 3Ms and the business model, as well as the conclusion of the KPIs and the last steps towards implementation and control. Here, the final solutions are being operationalized. In a virtual meeting with the KDMs, they validated the choices of our solutions as well as the required resources. So the first M is manpower. In manpower, we assessed the number of people needed to make this project a reality. So we divided the needed manpower between internal employees of Benfica and external employees. Each task and the main tasks were defined, and we also assessed the task relevant maturity. Therefore, we estimate that we will need 15 people, 11 people belonging to the Deloitte consulting team And regarding internal employees, we will of course need our KDMs and also 2 people from the marketing team of Benfica. So for a minute we created a roadmap of the next steps of the project. The first would be to do project planning, then user research and requirements gathering. After that, the user experience design, the software development, the quality assurance, the deployment, and then marketing. We estimate that it should take around 5 months to arrive to the MVP, and this should start in May of 2023. So for the third M, money, we estimated the total cost of the project to be around 468,000 euros, including 400,000 euros for the development costs. Then, under operating costs, we estimate that the budget needs to account for maintenance costs, payment processing fees, and also the marketing budget. Since we integrate new features in the app 2.0, we updated the business model fitting for this project, and we will highlight key aspects of the business model. As key resources, we suggest the already existing in the app, as well as the data collected and benchmarks from competitors. As indicated before, we target all fans everywhere. This draws back in the internationality of Benfica fans, which in total make over 14 million fans worldwide. The 3 revenue streams of this business model are the increased merchandise and food and drink sales, as well as the higher membership revenue through fan adoption. On phase 5B, we tested the KPIs. The ones related with the KDMs and team. The only that we couldn't fully achieve was the one related with every member coming to each meeting. Regarding project-related KPIs, the only 2 ones we couldn't fully achieve was the final resources needed and the identification of one clear solution. Regarding the app-related KPIs, there were 2 that we couldn't fully achieve, and this was the achievement of KPIs regarding fan engagement and app usage and satisfaction, and also the achievement of KPIs regarding increase of revenue generated through the app. As every good project, the app development will need investment to gain future revenues. The main cost point will be the development of the new features within the app. Additional costs such as maintenance, services and marketing will occur, but the investment will be paid back by a saving in wages and advertising revenue. The food and drink ordering feature could save 144,000 euros per year, while the live stats and the global fan map features could generate 30,000 per year, each through advertising revenue. However, the development of the new features would cost 400,000 euros, and as well as require annual maintenance of 10,000 euros, as well as marketing costs of 38,000 euros per year, payment processing fees of 10,000 per year for food and drink orders. We tried to forecast how the revenue and profit would be in the first 4 years based on the revenue streams from the 6 features and the estimated cost for the project. Our analysis indicates that the payback period should be 1 year. Nevertheless, potential risks should be taken into consideration when it comes to revenue forecasting. This could be a possible higher development cost than expected, the risk of less revenue being generated than expected also, and the technological obsolescence. Regarding marketing planning, we created recommendations that we believe would add value to the promotion of the 6 new features of the 2.0 app. The first one would be to invest in social media advertising, creating eye-catching graphics and videos showcasing the app's new features and benefits, and run targeted ads on social media platforms like Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and TikTok. We also recommend sending regular newsletters to the users with updates of the new app's features, upcoming matches, exclusive promotions to get the attention of the fans who are active email users. Very important is also to do in-stadium advertising, since many of the target users would be there. Also not forgetting the App Store optimization, so optimizing the app's listing with relevant keywords in App Store and also on the Google Play Store.
So, we even brought our ideas to life.
So this concludes the value creation wheel method. But what comes after? For the success of the project, 5 next steps were determined. The first was the creation and implementation of new features and the initial promotion. Then, to feed real-time data to the app and create a quiz database. Afterwards, to do a KPI check. Then, to think about the possible monetization of the add-in features. And lastly, to keep up the engagement, innovate, and update the features. The required partners for this are Deloitte Digital and the OutSystems team, marketing department, the financial department, and the technological department from Benfica. Regarding climate action, Benfica has taken steps to reduce their carbon footprint by installing photovoltaic systems and implementing a recycling program at Estádio da Luz, while also reducing single-use plastic usage. For quality education, the Benfica Foundation operates education programs for young people. Regarding decent work and economic growth, as one of Portugal's largest employers, Benfica ensures their employees have fair wages, good working conditions, and opportunities for career development. Lastly, Benfica has established partnerships with organizations and entities to support the SDGs, including UNDP. On the right side, you can see how our solutions have a specific impact on the SDGs. To exemplify, we expect that the food and drink ordering will reduce littering, and specifically, the quiz section offers potential partnerships for the educational foundation. We learned so much with the VCW framework, and we try to summarize it in 6 main lessons. The first one is to ask questions. Whether in the group, towards the KDMs or the advisors, always clarify your doubts since this is a very complex framework. Withdraw from judgment in the phases when initially generating ideas and sorting them into the poker method. Think without a box. Increase involved stakeholders to grow the group of people generating potential ideas. Use circularity of the framework to revise the phases if necessary, even if it takes time and work. Actively involve the KDMs to use the resources available and validate it. Do the research. It was very helpful to have an overview of the industry and the current trends to keep in mind. So thank you to Rui Paz and João Pedro for posing us this challenge and helping us solve it. And our special thank you also goes to our Professor Luís Filipe Lage and Carlos Reis Marques for helping us, supporting us, and guiding us through the VCW framework. So thank you for your time and attention, and we hope you enjoyed watching how we applied the VCW framework to this Benfica challenge.